Let's set it in stark terms. What does England expect Scotland to do? English nationalism has got its way. Brexit is coming, and Boris Johnson is in number 10. The triumph of English nationalism at the general election is a great threat to Scotland, and will cost us dear if we do not resist it with every democratic means at our disposal. Not only does Scotland have to face being ripped from the European Union against the will of the nation, but we also have the injustice of Westminster silencing the democratic voice of the Scottish people. The SNP won an astonishing majority of seats at the election. It fought a campaign which hammered home that the nation was lied to at the last independence referendum, that we were misled when we were told a no vote was the only way to preserve EU membership. After the EU referendum, circumstances obviously changed and the second independence vote was morally justified. The SNP won on this premise, yet we're told by Johnson there'll be no second independence referendum. Brexit alone is grounds enough for a second independence referendum. The SNP's electoral mandate makes the argument unassailable. An election which confirms the democratic will of the English people is being used to deny the democratic will of the Scottish people. Would the English tolerate such abuse? It's not hyperbole to say the treatment of Scotland in the first few days of the new Johnson administration smells of tyranny and bodes ill for the future. It's a clear-cut case of political injustice. This treatment is designed to provoke anger. The Yes movement needs to resist being needled into intemperate behavior. Already, some voices on the fringes of the Yes movement, or within the SNP's more hysterical base, have begun talking of action like a unilateral declaration of independence. Such language is not welcome. The reason the SNP did so well in this election is that the broader Yes movement followed a policy of moderation over the last 4 years. The leadership wisely avoided the flag-waving, old-school nationalist marches of outfits like All Under One banner, which seems to attract more than its fair share of cranks and zealots. Leaders of the SNP and the Yes movement chose to focus on a policy of wooing undecided Scottish voters and soft no voters. It was emollient, open, nuanced, intelligent and unaggressive. The tactics seem to represent the split in the SNP and the Yes movement mirrored by the personalities of Alex Salmond and Nicola Sturgeon. Those of a populist persuasion still pine for the bluster of a man like Salmond. This is the brittle SNP base, represented by the online, angry fringe. They achieved nothing in this election. They won over not a single voter. It's likely that if they didn't exist at all, the SNP's majority would be even higher than it is today. What secured the SNP elect? For more on this story, visit the news article link.